Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another Sonic playthrough video. I'm going to be doing a playthrough of Sonic Chaos in this video. So let's go straight ahead and boot the game up. Haven't played this game in a long time. This is the Game Gear version I'm playing, which I'm actually more familiar with compared to the Master System version. So, I'm going to do the stream actually as playing as Tails. Tails is getting a lot of spotlight lately, so I figured we'd play as Tails. Now, there is some sort of slight differences between Tails and Sonic's gameplay on Sonic Chaos. Obviously, they play a little bit differently. Tails can fly and such, but Tails has no access to get into the Chaos Emeralds. You can't actually get the Chaos Emeralds with Tails. And to fly on this game with Tails, whereas like on the Mega Drive, Genesis games, you jump and then press the A button again, he'd fly. On this game you have to look up, then press A, and then he will fly. Now if you're playing as Sonic, to gain access to the special stages you need 100 rings, and that will automatically send you straight to a special stage, and that will also automatically clear the level as well. Trying to take it a little bit steady. I would like to build some lives up before we get too crazy. I know the game does get a little bit challenging towards the end. Dang. Still, the game is reasonably fair. It gives you a starting point of 5 lives, which isn't bad. Alright, that's it. Oh, and the game actually gives you free continues straight off the bat. That is pretty generous. It's been such a long time since I've played this game, I completely forgot it. But yeah, as I said, I'm much more familiar with the Game Gear version, which we're playing, compared to the Master System version. Whereas it's the other way around for Sonic 1, or Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the game for the Master System Game Gear. I'm much more familiar with the Master System version compared to the Game Gear version. That's because I owned the Master System version mostly first. But whereas with Sonic Chaos, yeah, I owned the Game Gear version and put a lot of hours into it. I remember during years and years ago, like mid-90s, must have been some point, I was given the opportunity, I think for a birthday present of one of the Game Gear Sonic games, and I think it was between either Sonic 2, it might have been Sonic 2, it might have been Sonic Spinball actually. It's either Sonic Spinball, Sonic Chaos and Sonic Triple Trouble, and I ended up choosing Sonic Chaos, clearly. And yeah, a lot of love for this game. If I'd have picked up Sonic Triple Trouble at that time, then I probably would have a lot of more nostalgia love for that game instead. I never got the chance to play Triple Trouble until it was eventually released on compilation games. But there is a few slight altercations between this Sonic Cast, the Game Gear version, and the Master System version. But there's not as many differences compared to the Game Gear and Master System version with Sonic 1. There we go, we can get out of here. Look, it's the end of the level. I think this game, presentation-wise, still looks really nice to today's standards. I mean, it's got really colourful, bright sprites. When you think this is on an 8-bit machine, I mean, like, I'm not saying that the Game Gear was essentially a better handheld than the Game Boy, but when you look at this game and you compare it to what the Game Boy was putting out visual-wise back then, there's really no comparison. But of course I'm going to be a little bit biased, obviously being a Sega guy. Now, this is the third act, which is always known as the boss act, and there is always some secret rings, which will make your life a lot easier for dealing with a boss. These ones are at the top, but this boss is really easy. Really easy, you see what I mean. That's it. Not as easy, I suppose you could say, as the boss for Sonic 1 Master System Game Gear version, where he just, you know, goes left and right and comes down, but I suppose you do technically have to do something to that boss. This one. So some of the soundtrack on this game, I think this was one of the levels that is different to the Master System version. But I do know that the boss on this level, Giga Palace, was one of the ones that they used again in Mania, which I thought was awesome. Awesome touch. I think there's a life over here? Maybe. No, it's just putting me back at the start. It's okay. Of course, as this game was designed to be played on a handheld, the camera is a bit panned in quite a lot for the characters, so you've got to be a bit careful of oncoming hazards, because there's not much window of opportunity of failure. Interestingly, I think towers will continually stay flying if you don't press any buttons. I'm not sure. Let's find out. No, he does eventually fall down. Stand corrected. I definitely need a ring. That's it. So, if you're familiar with what this game, and how it was released worldwide, you'll know that it was called Sonic and Tails. The Japanese release. It was only us over in the West where they changed it to Sonic Chaos. I always really like the name Giga Palace. I think that's such a cool name for a zone. And this is whoops, one of the few games, one of the few Sonic games, sorry, that doesn't feature Dr. Robotnik as prominent bosses through the levels. It's actually you're fighting his badniks. You will only fight Robotnik as the final boss. Technically, there is a sort of metal version of him in the next level, I believe, Sleeping Egg. But it's not actually Robotnik. I was a bit worried then, but less than a minute to clear the level. And we got the Sonic. Interesting, unique way of ending the level, really, with having the speed gauge as you go through the goal at the end. Awesome, though. So here we come to the Giga Palace boss. Now, where were the rings on this level? Oh, it's okay, that's fine. They're in the loop. So yeah, this boss indeed was used again in Mania. Here he is. He's not too hard though. Oh, that was a bit crafty, wasn't it? So this should be Sleeping Egg Zone, which I think was usually my favourite level of this game. At least it used to be. I just thought, you know, a level called Sleeping Egg. Good stuff. And we've got Dr. Robotnik on these sides of these panels. Interesting how he'd named his name. His level's Sleeping Egg, but I want to go that way. No, as it's been so long, I've forgotten just how short some of these levels are. But if you was playing with Sonic, it would take a bit longer to get through if you was trying to go the Chaos Emerald route, because you'd need to try to hunt down 100 rings each time on the level. And the special stages are quite unique compared to other Sonic games. You're kind of essentially, excuse me, you're in essentially a maze through the levels, and you've got to race to the end of the maze to find the Chaos Emeralds. Some are really, really easy, but some are quite tricky. And you do have a time limit on each one. I would have to do like a Sonic playthrough at some point. As you can see, this game is quite plentiful of rings, and that is because obviously you are trying to get 100 rings per level. Always best to try to stick to the top route on this level. It's there's a bit of a bottomless pit on this part. That's it. Okay. I think the rings might be up here. I don't know if I want to risk doing this, but okay. Oh, that's not good. I think that's where the boss is. We'll give it a go. Yeah, not a good idea to face this one without some rings. Let's try to find those rings. Oh, there we go. Look, simple enough. It's right in front of me. Yeah, as you can see, not the sort of boss I wanted to do without some rings. I think it's Mecca Greenhills next. I always thought this was quite a funky idea for a level, essentially like a roboticized version of Green Hill Zone, or essentially it is. Everything's robotic. The theme song's pretty catchy too. This is definitely a level that should be brought back, right? Like, standard Green Hill is so overplayed. Like, literally. Oh, hey, it's a new Sonic game. Green Hill's got to be in it. Let's go up this way. Oh, that was close. Wow. Right back at the start. Yeah, I don't believe this game has checkpoints to save. So But I think when the levels are this short, it doesn't necessarily matter. Whew. So I did actually review this game about a year or so ago. Well, I kind of did a video version. Awesome to get extra life there as well. I did a video review of what the Sonic the Comic review was of Sonic Chaos, and they gave it a really good review too. I might put the link to that in the description below. It was only a couple of minute long video, but it was fun to do. Maybe I'll have to do a few more of these older game reviews again. Okay, so the boss act, and I think this is a slightly different version of this boss compared to what I have on the Master System version. I think the ring box is up. I'm sure it was on one of these platform bits here. Whew. Good memory. So it's the monkey. Dang. Yeah, so technically it's a bit of like a monkey style boss, but yeah, it's a little bit different on the Master System version. And this is why I was trying to get some lives earlier in the game. These bosses are quite cheap if you don't have any rings. In fact, I'm going to play this. Wow, talk about throw the lives away, right? Let's try that again. Okay, I definitely have got to get that ring. There's no doubt about it. These little like slope platforms, you have to be running fast, just in case you're wondering why doesn't he just stop and jump. There we go. Now let's try that again. Oh my god. Okay, that's got it. We've got him. There we go. You can only actually hurt him when his head's out at the top. So I think the next one is the water level. Can't remember what that one was called. Something aquatic, I think it was called. Not mistaken. Aqua Planet Zone. I was close. Can't deny it that this game has some really awesome soundtracks for its levels. I'm going to try to go to top layer. Not enough time to start flying again. Doesn't matter. So Tails can't actually swim in this game. Whereas, you know, in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you can actually swim as Tails if you try to fly. This one he can't. Can't do nothing. We certainly will get those rings though. Let's look at that. That's pretty cool. That's the first invincibility shield I've managed to pick up on the game. Just about survived with no rings too. As with most water levels, best to try to take the upper route, sorry. You'll usually find it's a better route to go. Usually less hazards and less water sections to worry about drowning. Oh, at least we'll get that life back from one of the ones we wasted earlier. There's lots of rings on this level. "59 seconds, not bad at all." Now, if I remember, the rings on the third act of this one was always quite a tricky one to get with Sonic. In fact, I'm not sure if it was actually inaccessible when you're playing as Sonic on this level. And this boss is quite a tricky one. It's the penguins. Yeah, the rings up there. I'm sure you can probably get there by spin dashing. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you don't go up this way, you will not get rings for the boss. There it is. So we've got the waves of the penguins first, and before the boss. Okay, that's probably not a good idea to face these things. I wasn't expecting that. So if you've noticed, as the game is progressing, the bosses are increasing the amount of hits they take to defeat them, which I thought was quite an interesting and unique idea to have in a Sonic game. Whereas the first boss, I think, only took like 4 or 5 hits. As you can see, that one, that took about maybe 12. So last level, Electric Egg Zone. The old zoom tubes return. I think I should remember how to do this. this level. There are multiple options and multiple death routes to go. That's a lot of rings. Fortunately, as I've fallen down, I can't get back up there. But that's okay. Dang it. Gotta get that platform right in the middle. Trying to keep to the top routes. They seem to be the more safer of the two. There we go, egg one done. This is probably definitely a good game to speed run. If you know your routes and you've played like literally, you know, everything to do on this game, you could probably complete this game in about 10 minutes. Okay, so you're supposed to go back up and press left. You need to use the analog stick or D-pad, whatever you're using, to control the direction where you're going in the zoom tubes. Oh, it wouldn't let me go left. Best to keep moving, keep moving. Didn't essentially want to do that. Wow, that is very easy. Like I said, I've not played this game in a long time. I honestly forgotten just how short some of the levels are in this game. So now we're up to the final boss. Now definitely remember where the ring box is on this one. You have to make a jump as you're on the little trolley as you're going down the tracks. I remember that, never forgot that. Because this boss requires quite a lot of hits. Here. It's the only way to get that ring box. If you don't get that, you might have a difficult time with this boss, because it sure requires a lot of hits. But here we go, showdown with Robotnik. Best to try to keep in front of him, otherwise he does that attack, which is a bit harder to avoid. Like that. And I've lost my ring. No, that's not good. Oh, it trapped me right in the corner. This boss has 2 phases. In the second phase, your rings are automatically removed and you can't get hit once. But the boss only requires 1 hit. That's not good, I didn't mean to go that way. Yeah. Now I'm glad I got those extra lives earlier in the game. 3 lives left, but we've got the continues. I'm hoping the game doesn't make you do the whole level again. Okay, there we go. As I said, your rings are now null and void. You can't get hit once by this next stage. We got him. Looks easy, but as you can see, he moves across the screens quite fast. And all you have to do is get touched by him or touch the wrong part of his ship. We can't get him. He gets away. If you're playing as Sonic and you've got all the other Chaos Emeralds, he will drop the final one. But yeah, that's it. Here we are with the credits. So yeah, definitely a fun Sonic platformer. One of my favourites from the Game Gear Sonic line. I'd say it's actually my second favourite. First being the first Sonic game, which I streamed last week. But to be fair, I also like Sonic 2 and Sonic Triple Trouble. Even Sonic Blast, to be honest with you, I don't mind. Blast is probably my least favourite out of platformers, but I don't not like the game per se. I might even do a stream of that one day soon too. And that's it, guys. Go back to the load screen. So that's 2 of these games I've gone through now. The first Sonic Chaos. Might have to hit some of these others up. We've got Drift, Spinball, Labyrinth, Sonic 2, Mean Bean Machine, Game Gear version. These are all Game Gear games. Triple Trouble, of course. Sonic Drift 2, Tales of Sky Patrol, Sonic Blast, and Tails Adventure. But I'm going to be wrapping this video up now, guys, so I just want to say thank you all for joining me on this playthrough stream. Especially for you guys who made it from start to end all the way through. Thumbs up to you guys, it's always much appreciated. And until the next gameplay video, take care of yourselves, see you soon, and speed on.